primary example. Well, the day's starting off, we're all in the yard, we're getting ready to go out, and everybody's in a great mood, and I have this young gentleman, he's 21 years old, walk up to me, he says, Todd, I want to take a day off. I'm like, okay, this is kind of out of the blue. Usually take 3-4 days off, a long weekend or something. It's just a random day. Okay, fine. So we're in the middle of a big job. I'm like, can we bump it to a different day? I kind of need you. He's like, no, I can't, man. All right, and this is 48 hours before this day. I'm like, so what's the day off for? He's like, well, it's the Call of Duty 4 release party, of course. I need the day off. I gotta go get the copy. I gotta go online right away. I'm like, is this really happening? But I'm trying to stay calm about it. Kind of chuckle a little bit. I'm like, so did you fill out the paperwork for the day off? You have to fill out formal paperwork. And yeah. I said, did you put the reason on the paperwork that you want the day off, which goes to our boss? He said, yeah, of course I did. I'm like, well, there's the light bulb moment right there, Okay, I didn't see that one coming. And then to top my day off, we all get in the truck, and he said, oh, by the way, Todd, we got to go pick up Jimmy from his house because his mom couldn't drive him into work today. Okay, this is a typical day for me because at 16, I had my license, I had a car, I had insurance, I had things I had to pay for. Most of the gentlemen I work with today either don't have their license or are in the process of getting their license or can't afford to do. It's kind of an interesting dilemma, and they're getting driven into work. So then you fall into the I needs. I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to have all this responsibility dumped on me because I was told that I could do this, and I kind of walked my way through an interview. So they need to do machine work and all this, and they hop in their machine, I send them off to do delegate a job to them. Please go do this under the understanding that they can do this job competently. That was a challenge for me. I'm delegating them to do a very important job, hoping that's going to be done properly and not waste my time. That is a big thing for me. So sure enough, I get somebody put on my crew, told that they can go and do this job. I send them off to do the job in an area that I can't watch them. An hour and a half goes by. I'm kind of looking over now and then, see what they're up to. They're grading and doing some work. I walk over and I look at him. I says, so what have you done? He's like, I kind of dug a hole that I shouldn't have. Okay, well, at this point, I can either get very upset or I can address the problem properly, say, okay, how can we fix this? How can we make this better as fast as possible without making him feel worse than he already does? And so I try to reverse the problem. I say, well, how can I show you? How can I make this better for you that you can understand and that you can go in the machine, take care of this, and make it right? And you'll feel much better at the end of the day knowing that you've corrected a problem, okay? And it cost me about an hour and a half, which I have to explain later on, which I don't mind doing because I like teaching people. And I don't like to focus on the negatives because it doesn't get you anywhere, especially today with the younger youth today. It does not get you anywhere. It actually gets the reverse. They actually just do less. And I don't need that. I need the reverse of that. I need them to do more and be inspired and want to come to work and want to feel good about themselves. So I try and turn that over into something very positive. And lo and behold, he did fix it. It took a little longer, but he felt much better getting out of that machine, and he felt good the rest of the day. And that gentleman now requests to be on my crew because he trusts me. That is a big thing. Establishing that trust, which is, I think, has been lost, lost on them, unfortunately. Another thing is, I want to have my phone. Oh, this is a big thing. I love that. Everybody laughs because this is a very real thing in all of employment. Not just my employment, but when you're dealing with 1,000-pound stones, and you're dealing with people's lives, and you're dealing with people's property, staying focused on what you're doing and not having those bings going off and all those alarm settings or whatever comes on. Everybody has their unique ones, I'm sure. That's very important not to be distracted. I can give you an example. It's a funny one. I'm off working around the house on this side and around this side. In this house was 3 guys. I told them to do a certain job. So I let 10 minutes go by, and it's almost like daddy daycare. I have to walk over. Oh, okay, they're still working. All right, good. So, and the things they're doing, they don't even realize how important it is. And I stress this to them all the time, that you're an important cog in this whole thing, and that if you don't do it right, then we got to redo it. And so sure enough, I walk over again. About 15 minutes later, if one pulls out their phone, they all feel obligated to pull out their phones. And who knows how much time's gone by? I don't even know. I have no clue. They could be just sitting there and they're all in on it together. Like a couple, kids with candy at Halloween. Okay, you go get the bag and I'll meet you upstairs. So they're all in on it together. They're not going to rat each other out. So I walk in the car, I'm like, really, guys? Really? Is this really happening? Like, I can't leave you alone for more than a half hour, and all of a sudden your focus is not there. This focus affects detail, affects final output on everything that I do and everything they do. It reflects on them. Finally, I took 2 of them aside and I said, so if I was on my phone all the time and the client saw me just sitting there, dum-da-dum-da-dum, they're paying for our time. They're paying for us to be there. They're paying for us to do the best job we could possibly do. How can we make this into a situation that you want to not do that? You don't want to represent yourself. Not only me, you're representing yourself. I'm trying to motivate them properly to see that if that person looks out and sees you on your phone standing there for, I don't know, they could record you for all that matter today. There's cameras everywhere. So they can live record you and post that live streaming that you're just standing there in front of the company truck doing nothing. So I want to invoke integrity into them. The positive integrity to take care of what they need to inside of them, to make sure that they don't show themselves up, or the company or anybody else. That's a positive thing. I'm trying to instill that in them. And I think I've let the season go by, but next spring there's going to be some talks about enforcing a little bit more, because you know what? I can't just suspend one. It's one of those things, I'm sure all of you run into it in the employment world also, that you'll find that you walk in and sure enough, or slipping it in the drawer, or these guys, they just drop it in the pocket, or they just go, oh, well, you got me, so that's a problem. The details, in the end, are everything. The integrity of your job, the integrity of your focus. You do not want to make that mistake of taking someone's, in all seriousness, a hand, fingers, leg. I deal with equipment that can lift 1,000-pound stones. You make one little wrong move, and that's changed someone's life permanently. Those are the type of values I'm trying to instill in these young men. I think that's sorely lost because, unfortunately, they're not driving the vehicles I drove at their age. They're not having the exposure that I had at my age. At a younger age, at 16, 14, whatever, they're not having those opportunities, let alone being able to drive and have their own vehicle and all this stuff. So to try and positively push them in a direction that puts power into them is very important to me. So in the end, I really, really try and positively motivate everybody every day to have a positive day. And at the end of the day, I want that gentleman to request to work with me, because that reflects on me that I'm doing the right thing, that I'm not the guy who's a pushover, I'm not the guy who barks at them and tells them that they're useless or that they can always do better, because that happens. I see it all the time. I don't want to work with those guys. I want a crew that wants to work as a family and positively influence each other to become a better person. At the end of the day, I want them to become, if they want to go on in the trades, become a foreman, supervisor, whatever they want to do. But you know what? That's sorely lost today, unfortunately, too, because I love getting paid to do paid circuit training. I love it. I love my job. I love transforming people's yards, and I hope they do too. So I'm going to go buy my Call of Duty 4 copy right now.
Just working on it.